Redhill. Where on earth is Redhill? Nestled in the county of Surrey, Redhill is a town 7 miles north of Gatwick Airport. Now, I'd never heard of the town of Redhill until I was told about it by some fellow buskers who said it's well worth a visit. Now, in my experience, it's these less known towns that tend to provide the most successful days when it comes to busking. And with its centre being a pedestrian only shopping area, Redhill seems like it has all the ideal ingredients for a day of street music. So whether you want to visit Redhill and busk there yourself, or just see if my theory about smaller, lesser known towns holds weight, here is how I got on busking in Redhill. Here we are then, Redhill. Is there an abundance of red? No. Is there some kind of significant hill? No. Did I know about a place called Redhill up until recently? No. And neither did you probably, unless you happen to be from Redhill or surrounding area. But that is why I'm here. I'm here in Redhill because I think these lesser known places, these places that are a bit smaller, a bit more off the beaten track, are actually better for us buskers. I think people in these places have more appreciation for what we do. Not to say that they don't have appreciation in bigger cities, they do. I just think these smaller towns, they tend to be a bit friendlier, tend to have a bit more of like a welcoming, smiley vibe. So that's what I'm here to prove, that places like this are worth coming to. So let me go through the rules for Redhill busking, and then I'll show you how I got on. The rules for busking in Redhill. Redhill falls under the Reigate and Banstead Council, and they do not have a lot to say about us buskers. The only page on their site that contains anything to do with busking is one aimed at those who wish to make a complaint about buskers. But the way that this page reads, I'd say that Reigate and Banstead Council are in full support of us buskers. They state that it is very unlikely that a busker could be making enough noise for them to cause a statutory nuisance, which is the law that council officers often threaten buskers with when they're trying to make them move on. They go on to say about how difficult it is to make a formal complaint about a busker, and anyone that wishes to do so in their area is better off going to Surrey County Council. As for any advice or guidelines, there doesn't appear to be any. I did have a look on Surrey County Council's website too, and there's nothing on there about busking either. I did find a news article about how people in Surrey love buskers and busking. In fact, they thoroughly enjoy street entertainment. Busking is beautiful, say the locals. This was written as a reaction to a video of two buskers getting yelled at on Guildford High Street, a video that went viral. So I think it's safe to say that the people of Redhill are completely fine with busking. And as you're about to see, I had absolutely no problem. And the few buskers I know that frequently visit Redhill have never mentioned anything of problems or in terms of issues before. At least not to me. I don't see any bad words about this place. So let's get on with my time in Redhill. Spot number one.
The spot of dreams, or where dreams come to die. Take your bets, place your bets, and I'll let you know how it goes. I just wanna feel something, but I just don't know what it is.
According to Wikipedia, Redhill is the main commercial area of 3 adjoining communities, as well as 2 rural villages. And on a Thursday in October, it was busy, really busy. Plenty of foot traffic.
Yeah, I want to see you again. It's not random text that Ollie.
The pedestrian-only shopping area is at a crossroads of Station Road and London Road. And I'd happened to get there on market day, meaning there was slightly less space than usual. I wandered up and down all the streets to just get a scope of where I was, of where looked good to set up. I think if you were here on a non-market day, then the best bet would just be to set up right in the centre. But I decided to set up on London Road, just outside Lloyd's Bank, towards the centre, as close as I could get. My first observation of Redhill was that this pedestrian-only area, the area that is most suitable for busking, it's quite small. I think if there were any more than 2 buskers there at a time, it would get quite overcrowded. Luckily for me, I was the only busker there for the entire day.
Well, maybe no one's trying to meet, maybe even Sonny Sheehan. Somebody's calling, needs to take me into custody.
I think this is one of the many advantages to playing smaller towns on quieter days. You're likely to be the only busker. Because of the lack of guidelines on the council site and the smaller size of the area, I decided pretty early on into my set that I was going to try and make Redhill a one-spot wonder.
Friend, yeah, I want to see you again. You used to not random text that Ollie.
This is where you busk in one spot until you've reached your desired goal. The trick here is to make sure that you're varying your repertoire and just double check that you aren't causing a nuisance to any of the nearby businesses and shops. On the whole, if you're in a nice, friendly, cool place, then you're usually okay to try and do a one-spot wonder. The people of Redhill were responsive right away. People smiling, stopping to watch and listen. I got a thumbs up, I got the shaka a few times. I love it when people give me this. Like I make them feel the need to do that. That's sick. And of course, plenty of donations. Where I was set up was great for people to stop and watch, as there were seats just opposite to where I was playing. One guy went into the Poundland and came out with a 6-pack of apple pies. He proceeded to sit down, listen and watch me play, and eat all 6 of his apple pies. What an absolutely cracking way to spend a Thursday morning. I can't imagine that he planned that. Spontaneity at its best.
Now it's out of my mind, 'cause you said it's slow, yeah. That was this girl. Yeah, that was this girl.
In all seriousness though, I was really appreciating the vibes from the people of Redhill. Even the market workers who were listening to me for several hours were throwing me compliments. About halfway through the set, I witnessed a man in a tracksuit run past, followed by 2 security officers. They were yelling stop, and then a particularly muscular dude decided to get in the way of the guy running, meaning the 2 security guards managed to catch him. I guess he'd stolen something. All drama on the streets of Redhill. The donations just didn't stop. I noticed I'd accumulated a fair amount in my case, and I figured I'd probably be nearing £100. This was after about 2.5 hours of playing. Just 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that was this girl.
Being being a full-time busker means you get pretty good at eyeballing coins and knowing roughly how much you've made. Then, just as I was about to finish, the manhole cover that was in front of me suddenly lifted up, and out popped a worker.
I'm doing something right, hard for you to see. You're so short on side of what it can mean to me.
It was like something out of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He laughed at my reaction and told me I can carry on, that they were just doing some works on the pipes below the high street.
Nobody else knew. I don't wanna be part of that scene. Back like a dog, cause I refuse to be a sheep. And I'm back like a dog, cause I refuse to be a sheep.
But that's the first time I've ever seen someone just appear from a manhole. And it was wild. After 2.5 hours of playing and just an all-round great time, I decided to finish up in Redhill.
Cause I believe in this. Yeah, I believe in it.
It well and truly succeeded as a one-spot wonder. Spot on.
And there's all these excuses on why you won't succeed. Everyone has their own idea of what it is I need. But well, it's been an eventful set. I've seen someone steal something and then the security chased after him and they caught him. And the drains I'm playing next to, some of the workers had to come and go down them, so I got to see what was inside the drains. All in all, a really successful set, and I'm thinking this might be a one-spot wonder.
Redhill, one-spot wonder. A one-spot wonder is where I make within 10% of my goal in one spot. And today we did just that. I stayed in the same spot throughout. I think if you were going to come here and busk in Redhill, it's probably worth just trying to stay in the same spot. It's probably worth staying in the same spot. Just simply because the sort of centre, the town bit is quite small. I think it's one of those places where if there was more than one busker, you'd find it difficult. Maybe 2 buskers could squeeze. I should think though, most people when they busk here, if they don't busk here on a market day, probably stay in the right centre of that sort of cross. I tried my best, but I mean the spot I was in was great. No complaints from anyone, so friendly. So many people asked me how my busk was. They were, how's it going? Having a good day? Hope you're having a good one. I hope everyone's giving you plenty of donations and you're having a good time. Like, so kind and caring, man. And then the people who were running one of the coffee stalls at the market asked me if I'd come and play outside their stall the next time I'm here. So that is rad. I made a total of £96.65, which is just rad. And it's within 10% of 100. £100 is my goal, but I mean, I'll take 96, that's fine. All good. Yeah, cool place. I'm glad I've discovered Redhill because it's not too far from Brighton. And at the moment, when I'm not making a video and going off on an adventure, I tend to just sort of play the places that are local to Brighton, like Eastbourne, Hastings, and Redhill can be added to that list now, my rotation. So, rad. I guess I just want to talk a bit more about why I think it's important to go to places that are off the beaten track. But I'll let future me do that. I'm going to enjoy some lunch and then I'm going to get on the train. This job is just the best thing that ever happened. I can't believe how good it is to be a busker. People are so rad. I love that people like what I do. And I just love that this is what I do now. This is my living. I honestly, I spent many years thinking that being a full-time musician was not possible. And now here I am, doing it. On my own terms, with no boss, no meetings I have to ever go to. And I guess by making these videos, I just want to show that it can be done, that you can do it too. If you're a musician and you're thinking about being a full-time busker, then here's some proof of how good life is as a full-time busker. So yeah, hanging out in a park in Redhill, signing off. Future me, back to you. I could have definitely set up for a second spot, maybe tried one of the other streets, and maybe even gone on for a bit longer where I was. But I was more than satisfied with how it had gone in Redhill. I can't explain how grateful I am that I found busking, or should I say that busking found me. It's been a goal of mine for a long time to make a full-time living by playing, performing and writing music on my own terms. I'm doing just that now, and that's mostly thanks to busking. Days like the one in Redhill, where I literally play for 2 to 3 hours, and that's that. I complete my day. I earn all I need to earn, and that's my day's work done. I can go home and I'm free to do whatever I want. It leaves me with such an incredible feeling. It's a kind of pinch me. Is this even real? Like, is this actually a thing? It's amazing. And I can't be more grateful for all the people that mean it can happen. All that kindness and love for live music. And I'm grateful to all of you who watch these videos and support this journey. And whilst I'm super excited for the future and where this progresses to, at present, I'm just so stoked. I really hope that you feel like you get value from these videos in return. So, Redhill, is it worth a busk? Absolutely. You might not get to witness an attempted robbery or a worker appearing from a manhole unannounced, but I can promise you that you'll have a good time because it's full of good energy. And maybe you'll do a full day's work in just a few hours of playing your favorite tunes. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're still chasing that 500 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you did. And if you are a true fan, then turn the notifications on. I'm August Radio Project. I make videos every week. They come out on Monday, and maybe watch the one on the screen. Go find another one on the channel, and then I'll see you next week. Peace, love, happiness. I accidentally cooked the camera there.